All right, I'm back with you again, my friends. Mike Bailey again from Ultimate Tailgating. Today we are doing a review of the 2024 Entegra Vision 29F. The Vision 29F, we like to call it our Goldilocks unit. Not too big, not too small. It's only 32 feet, can sleep up to 8 people. Perfect package for most. Easy to drive. It drives kind of like, think of it as driving like a U-Haul or Ryder van, since it's not that difficult to maintain. This unit here is built on the Ford F53 chassis. It is a Ford V8, Godzilla V8. The unit has about 80-gallon fuel capacity. It has a 70-gallon freshwater tank capacity, 49-gallon black water tank capacity, and a 40-gallon gray water tank capacity. We're going to go around the outside, go around some of the features on the outside, and then we'll go on the inside. Walking down the side of the coach, you'll see that it's got an awning, it's got a television here, it's got side storage. The initial storage, you've got some small storage in here. You've got storage here as well. It's great for luggage, great for bags, great for chairs. Above that storage, you have a 32-inch outdoor TV with speakers. So this has speakers and it's got an auto style radio. Okay, so this is a car style radio. So it's a CD player, Bluetooth, all that you can connect. This is a smart TV as well. So one of the cool things I like about that, if you get the internet package, be it the base Wi-Fi package or the Starlink package, you can connect via internet, you can stream your shows, you can stream your music, just like you would anywhere else at home. Another bay here, storage again. Up above us here, this is the hot water heater, okay? So you see this shows hot. So when the hot water heater is on, this element here will be hot. Please do not touch. Up above is the vent for the refrigerator. In this unit, it has a dual mode refrigerator. So it runs off of electricity and propane. So when you're running off propane, the propane is vented through this area. Okay, this is your battery tray as well as your area for your LP tank. So you shouldn't have to fill. We send our units out with full, at least 3/4 LP tanks full of liquid propane. You should not have to refill, but if you do, you can take it to campgrounds, various places that refill LP, and just pull up on this side. You'll know that this is the location for the LP because the door does not have a lock. On almost all of our RVs, where the LP is, I think it's law now, the door does not have a lock for you to access, okay? Also in here, just a little bit more storage. We've got more storage here in the back. And up above us, we have an awning. I'll let the awning out just so you guys can see here. To let the awning out, there is a button here in the interior. It's the awning in out button. You have to press and hold it for it to go out. And as I'm holding it, the awning is coming out slowly. Now, let me also mention with our units, and really with any unit, always be around the awning when it's out, okay? Don't leave the coach unattended with the awning out for two reasons. There's a couple of things that could become an issue. If you have the awning out and you leave the coach unattended, there could be wind, heavy wind, I would say anything over 15 miles an hour. That could collapse the awning arms. Also rain. I've seen a lot of people leave their awnings out overnight. Shower comes overnight and it'll collapse the awning also. So again, when it's unattended, just bring the awning in for best practice. Okay, I'm gonna let the awning back in. Again, you have to hold the button the entire time to let the awning in. This unit happens to have, I guess this is 20 some odd foot awning, but this is one of the longer awnings for a unit. This covers about over 3/4 of the length of the unit. So be a nice shade when you are set up for camping or tailgating or such, okay? Also on this side of the coach, you can see it's got the frameless windows. So you got the pop-out windows, and that's the same around, all around. So you can let the windows out to vent as well. On the rear of the coach, have a ladder for access. We do not allow access on the top of the unit. That is primarily for utilities. So if someone needs to work on the AC or the electrical utilities on top, that's what the ladder's for. This unit has a 5,000-pound hitch. You can tow 5,000 pounds with this. A lot of people will get this unit and get one of our tow dollies to be able to tow their cars, or one of our aluminum trailers as well, our aluminum car trailers. They're pretty light. Here in the rear of the coach, last component bay, this is your electrical hookup. Okay, so you see right now we have this hooked up to a surge protector. All of our units do come with a surge guard surge protector. So you would plug this into the 50 amp circuit or plug at the campground. Okay, so plug directly in. When you plug in, as you can tell, it's the 4-prong. When you plug into the campground, most campgrounds do not have power flowing to the unit. So you have to turn the breaker on as well. So once you plug it in, turn the breaker on, you'll have power flowing to the unit. You'll know that you have power flowing to the unit because you will hear a click. That click is the transfer switch, transferring from generator power to shore power. So here, more storage. This is where we keep our Stinky Slinky. This Stinky Slinky, as we call it, is primarily for doing the dump. It's a dump sewer hose. We'll take this out. We'll take one end out just so we can show it here. Next area here is your gas area. This is where you would fill the unit with fuel. Unleaded. We prefer premium unleaded, primarily because the generator runs better and smoother on premium unleaded as opposed to regular unleaded. This bay here is for your dump. This is where all the magic happens. Okay, so your black and gray water tanks come into this area here. This is where you would hook up the hose on one end. You would hook it up here. You take the cap off, you hook up the hose here, and then the other end you would hook into the ground. You would place into the ground. There's going to be a hole in the ground at the campsite where this would go into the hole. Okay, when you dump the unit, you're going to dump the black first. Always as a best practice, dump your black water first. Let your sewage go out through the black water. How will you know when it's done? You will hear any liquid and water stop. You will hear it come to a trickle. Then you close the valve. So you just pull this out to open it. When it's done, close the valve by pushing it back. That's the black water. On the right side is the gray water. The gray water is the water from the sink and the shower and such. Okay, so you want to do the gray water second. Why? Because that will clean this hose. So all of that soapy water that comes through will clean this hose as it's going through. Okay. Next area is going to be your water bay. So with your hookups at the campsite, you're going to have fresh water hookup, and you're going to take this fresh water hookup and connect it here where it says city water. Okay. Once you connect it city water, you're going to have fresh water coming into the unit. That water is going to be pressurized. So when you turn it on at the campsite, turn the water on at the campsite, that will pressurize the unit, so you don't need to use the water pump at that point. Now, here, this is called a Nautilus system. So it has a series of valves. So if you are dry camping, you turn the valves in the direction based on the display here. Okay, so right now we are showing in dry camp mode. When you want to fill the unit with fresh water, you want to fill the fresh water tank, you would turn it to where you see fresh water. Follow the diagram here. And same is true when you're city water. So when you are on city water at the campsite, you would have it hooked in here and you would turn it to the city water. You should not have to do these two, winterize and sanitize. That should not be necessary. We rarely winterize our coaches because our coaches stay on the road frequently. So even in the winter months, they're constantly gone. So we rarely winterize those units. Outside also, you have a place to turn on the water pump if you need to. This is an outdoor shower, so there is a hose that hooks up to this and a spigot, and then you can wash your feet off or wash your dog or whatever outside. The water filter, all of the water coming into the coach is filtered by this guy over here. This is your black tank flush. So let's just say hypothetically on the inside, your black tank is showing a misread. You know you have emptied it, but it is still showing percentage of black water that's in the tank. That's because there is some residue on the sensor within the tank. You can clean that residue by hooking up to the black water flush. Hook up to the black water flush, turn the water on, let it run for a few minutes, and I would say have someone man the interior also to make sure that you're not overfilling it. Once it gets full, turn the water off and then flush or dump your black water tank again. Inside of the tank, there are little mini jets that clean the tank, and that should clean the residue off the sides, off of the sensor. Okay? Just above us here, this little area here that shows hot, this is our Dometic furnace. So in the wintertime, if you're running the furnace for heat, stay clear of this area here. Don't let any kids touch this. This area here is hot. Next bay is going to be a bay for storage again. So we have the bag for the freshwater hose. There is a pass-through in here also. So if you look through here, you'll see that it goes clear to the other side. Okay, so you could have long storage. So I don't know, like if you were carrying skis or chairs or even a 6-foot table, maybe for tailgating or something. Next bay here, it is locked. This is the bay for the generator. So inside of here is the generator. You power the generator on and off from the inside. It has a remote. This typically stays locked through the duration of the rentals. And here we have another small area here for storage. Typically in this area, we may put a toolbox or we may put oil in for the generator just as a backup. Okay, also coming around the front of the coach, a few things also to mention. This unit does have 3 cameras. It's got a right turn, left turn, and rear view camera. So when you're on your turn stalk, when you changing lanes, it is going to show you on the main display what's down that lane. The camera is embedded in the rear view mirror. So if you look at the rear view mirror, it's a common question, what is this thing here? This is the camera for that side of the coach. Coming into the coach, the power may be off. If the power is off, the battery disconnect is off, the first thing that you want to do is turn the battery disconnect on. It's this guy right here that says main power. Press and hold it and do the click. You will see the lights will come on if the lights have already been in an on position. Up above that is this is the inverter. Okay, so during your rental, you want to keep the inverter on at all times. What that's going to do is, while the engine is running, it's going to recharge your house batteries. While you're plugged up at a campsite, it's going to recharge your house batteries. While you have the generator running, it's going to recharge your house batteries. And also, it will allow you to run several components, electrical components on the interior while you're not hooked up or running generator. Also here in this area, as you heard me mention earlier, this is the switches for the awning to let the awning in and out. This is the switch for the solar panels. On the top of the roof of this unit, we have 200 watts of solar. Solar is not going to power the unit. What it is going to do is just going to basically do a trickle charge on the batteries. So it's going to set it up so that your batteries don't deplete completely. So when we have this unit parked in storage, the solar is on and it is keeping a charge on the unit. Also here we have the interior lights. We've got the power step. The power step button is for, so if I were to close this now, the steps stay out. The steps stay out because I have the power step turned on. If I wanted the steps to go in and out, flip that button and they are going to go in and out. When you're at a campsite, you want to keep the steps in a hold position. So that way, when you're stepping in and out of the unit, they are already out, okay? Another best practice, if the steps are motorized going in and out, allow them to extend completely before you step on it. Stepping on the steps while they are extending will tear up the engine. I'm sorry, tear up the motor. Also, we have exterior lights on this guy here. So we got an outside exterior light, and we also have the LED light that is under the awning. So as I turn that on and off, you can see the LED light. Pretty nice at night. That will illuminate your campsite. So a lot of people like to use that to find their coach in a campground away from the others. So yeah, campgrounds can get pretty dark at night too. So, all right, guys, so now we're inside of the unit here. So this is a standard Ford style front end, nothing special. It has your basic HVAC, non-automatic climate control. So you still got to go old school with adjusting the fan and the temperature. I'm going to go ahead and crank it up. One thing I do like about this unit does have Bluetooth capability, but it also has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay capabilities too. It has a connection at the bottom down here. So that's where you put it in your USB, and it is going to stream it to it's going to mirror it on the unit, the display here itself. Again, basic HVAC controls. On the passenger side, it does have an area here, like a little desk that you can pull out. Also, there is USB connections on the passenger side and a 110 outlet. That 110 outlet can be used while you're driving. So let's just say that your passenger wants to use a laptop or something. They can do that while they're riding. Here on the main area here of the coach, you've got your jack system. You've got your shade. The shade goes up and down here. That is a privacy shade as well as a sunshade. So if you're driving, it'll go down about a third of the way down, and it will stop and protect your face and your eyes from the sun. Very similar to the shades in your car. Also has an accent light button, so you push the button and it shows some accent lights here on the front dash, which is nice. And then the lights here are for the lights up above, the reading lights. This here is for the mirrors. So this is the mirror control here, left and right. You've got another USB connection here. Here you have mirror heat in winter months. You may have some frosting on the mirror if you need to heat the mirrors, just like your car, do a mirror heat. You also have a fog light button. Here in the front of the coach, you have a generator start and stop button, just in case you want to start and stop the generator while driving. The battery boost button. This button, I get a lot of questions about this. This button is primarily for, think of it as jumping off the coach. So like, let's just say that the coach battery depleted somehow while you were camping and you can't start the RV. While you're plugged in or while you have power on your house batteries, press and hold this button. It's basically the equivalent of putting jumper cables onto your chassis battery, and that will allow you to start it. Press and hold it, start the coach, and you are set. Okay. Again, steering wheel controls on this unit. So you've got your cruise control. You have a tow haul mode on the turn stalk here. I'm sorry, on the gear shift stalk. Here you have your hazard lights. TCS off, that's to turn the traction control off. Okay, I'm going to turn the coach off here. Now, this is a moment I always like to tell people when it comes to setting up for camping. Camping is 3 basic steps. Okay, it's a 3-step exercise that should take no more than 15 minutes. Number 1, what you want to do is you want to let it's 3 steps. I'll say the 3 steps are, you don't necessarily have to do it in any particular order. Letting your jacks down, letting your slides out, and doing your hookups to shore power and shore connections. Okay, so in this case, we're going to let our jacks down. Very simple to let the jacks down on this unit. All you have to do on the EQ system with the engine off and the emergency brake pressed, press the power, turn the power on, and then just hit auto level once the lights go out. You will hear the system letting the jacks down, okay? I always tell our customers to try to get out of the coach so that if they get out of the coach, they will, because the reason we want to get out of the coach is there are sensors all throughout the coach, okay? Those sensors can be thrown off if someone is walking throughout the coach, okay? So we try to get everyone out of the coach except the driver and let the system level itself out, okay? Most campgrounds, they do have you on a fairly level lot. Sometimes it may be gravel, sometimes it may be concrete, but it's fairly level. So every now and then, the system will not be able to level. You got to remember that these leveling jacks, the arms can only extend so far. So if you have a very high angle, you might not be able to level completely. It will get you as close as it can, okay? The leveling process typically takes about a minute or two. Here in a moment, we should be done. The EQ system for leveling is, to me, is one of the better systems. You got the EQ system, which is good, okay, and you heard that beep, and now you see that all four elements, all four of the jacks are down, and it has done that single beep, and now you are level. So now you can turn the power off to the unit, and you're set. The next thing that you're going to do, we've already shown you the hookups outside. The next thing that you would do here would be the third step. Not necessarily in that fashion or in that order, but the third step, and that is letting your slides out. So there's one wall, so the slide is on the driver's side of the unit, all right? That slide extends from the front almost all the way to the back. This is your control panel here, your control center here. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna let the slide out, okay? So to let the slide out, here on the control panel, you just got the generator where you can start and stop the generator, the slide here, and then it has your gauges here. To let the slide out, all we're going to do is press and hold down where it says EXT. That is going to extend the slide, all right? Press and hold it until it stops. Try to make sure that there is nothing blocking it on the outside first. I always say that the slides should be a two-man job. You should have someone outside to be somewhat of a spotter, but that's the way you let the slide out. To let the slide back in, when you're done camping, all you have to do is press and hold retract, okay? So, also, here in this area is where your generator is. So starting at the top, we're gonna start the generator. This is a gasoline generator. So what we wanna do with a gasoline generator, kind of like, think of it like a lawnmower. You have to choke it first, or you have to prime it first. So to prime the unit, you're gonna press and hold stop for 5 seconds. Then you're going to press and hold start. And while you're holding start, you're going to hear the generator trying to start, and then you will hear the generator running. Once you hear it running consistently, you can let go, and then there's going to be a red light at the top to indicate that the generator is running, okay? Now, in terms of your levels, you can press and you can check the levels of your liquid propane, your battery level, your freshwater tank, your black water tank, and your gray tank. That beep that you just heard now means that we turn the generator on, and within about 30 seconds, the generator goes through the transfer switch and it starts to send power into the unit. So that beep that you just heard while we were doing this, that's saying that power is now flowing to the unit from the generator, okay? So to check the propane, it's just a simple push button. Press and hold. This tells us that we have 2/3 full on propane. Press and hold on the battery, showing that we have a full battery. The reason it's showing that we have a full battery is because the generator is feeding power into the battery. So So that's truly not accurate. You would want to test that when the generator is off, because the generator is charging the battery now. Fresh water, press and hold. We show empty on fresh water now because we have not refilled this tank. Black water, we show 2/3, and gray water, we show empty. Okay, so tank heaters here. In the winter months, let's just say that you have some liquids in your black and gray tank. Turn on the tank heater. That will heat the tanks so that they don't freeze. The last thing that you want is your black, fresh, or gray water tank frozen because it's extremely cold outside. Have the tank heater button on, and you will notice that it comes on with the light here illuminated. That is going to require additional power. What I mean when I say additional power, you're probably going to have the generator running to have all of the tank heaters going simultaneously. If you are dry camping, or if you're driving and someone needs to use the bathroom or wash their hands, you need to turn the water pump on. Okay, this button here. Turning the water pump on is going to send water through the various plumbing elements, components. So the faucet here in the sink, the shower, the toilet. So let's just say hypothetically you're driving, so someone needs to use the restroom. Turn the water pump on before they go to use the restroom. That way they can step and flush, and then they can wash their hands, and then when they're done, they can turn the water pump back off. If you are dry camping for an extended period of time, leave the water pump on also. You may remember earlier in the video I talked about the Nautilus system. For this to work properly, you have to be on dry camp. Okay, so make sure that you're set to dry camp, and then on the Nautilus system outside, and then you can turn the water pump on. You can use water on the interior of the coach. This unit has a dual mode hot water heater, gas and electric. Okay, so if you are plugged up at the campsite, you're on hookups, I always like to do, as a best practice, have the electric hot water heater on. Okay, you might have heard the generator just kind of burp there. That's because the electric hot water heater is using electricity. And so it's using more power now from the generator. So the generator just did a little bit of a hiccup because now it has to deliver a little bit more power. But when you're at a campsite and you're hooked up to full 50 amp, as a best practice, have the electric hot water on. That way you can wash your hands, you can cook or anything with hot water on demand. In the mornings, and everyone is taking a shower, you've got several people taking showers and you're going through a lot of hot water faster, I would suggest turning on the gas also. The gas, having the gas on, it is going to simultaneously heat the hot water, but do it with gas. Gas, or LP gas hot water, is hotter and the recovery is faster. So if you have a lot of people taking showers, it's going to stay hot and it's going to get hot faster. Okay, so I'm going to turn those off. Here, this unit has 2 AC units. Okay, so it's got one here for the front part of the coach, and it's got one for the rear part of the coach. This is the thermostat. Thermostat, very simple, probably like yours at home. A couple of buttons here. The base button is the mode button, so I'm going to turn it to cool, low, and auto. When you're running the air conditioner, make sure that it is on auto. The fan is on auto as opposed to high or low. You always want to have it on auto so that when it gets to the desired temperature, it goes off, it shuts itself off. As opposed to having it on low or high, it's just going to do a continuous run. And if you have it on a continuous run, it could potentially freeze up the AC. So you don't want to do that. Also here, you've got more light switches. I told you about the dual mode refrigerator freezer. Again, dual mode will run off of electricity or propane gas. So we're going to go to the back here. So here in the back, this unit has a queen size bed. The master bedroom has a queen size bed. It's got 2 charging stations on the nightstands. So wireless charging stations for your phone. You've got storage up above. You have another thermostat here for the rear of the unit. Also have a smart TV here in the rear. The smart TV also has a storage here. So you may want to keep some valuables back here, but yeah, it's a sensor for the remote. You may want to keep some valuables back here, but this is a great place, hidden storage area here with the unit. Okay, you've got drawers here. Here on the wall here, you also have an outlet for the heat. So when you have the furnace going in the wintertime, your heat is going to come out on the floor level. Okay, your air conditioning comes out through the upper vents, heat comes out on the lower vents. Okay, this is an emergency window too, just in case of emergency. Flip this latch, window pops out, you can get out safely. Also here, you've got the stairs, you've got a ladder to go to the front bunk. You also have a table that will go in the middle between the driver and passenger. It's like a bistro table, and there is the pedestal for the table. Okay, one of the things I like about this, I love about this unit, I call it the Goldilocks unit, not just because of its size. This unit is a great size, but it can still sleep up to 8 people. Would I want to sleep with 7 other people in this unit? Probably not, but it can. So for large families, groups that are camping, a lot of people like to use it for music festivals. A bunch of friends go out and hang out in one unit. This unit can accommodate that. So this unit has a set of bunks here. In the bunks you have power and you have a tablet holder. You also have storage underneath, and then you have shades that float up and down here for privacy. All right, so here in the living room and should I say dining room, living on the opposite side. In the dining area here, this unit has a televator. Okay, so press and hold the up button, the TV will come up. This is a 40-inch television, smart TV again. This can be up while you're driving. That's a common question. A lot of people like to ask, can they let the TV up while they drive? Yes, you can. This area here is also, this is a dining area, but it's also can be used for sleeping. If you want to turn this into a bed, a couple of simple steps. Just lift up, pull this unit out, and then it goes down. And what you would do is you would push the 2 cushions back, and then it lays flat here. And then you would push these 2 cushions over the top. Okay, so here, we'll do it right now. I'm just gonna pull these up momentarily. Okay, and then we're gonna put these cushions are gonna serve as a leaf here in the middle. And so this will be a bed for, I would say, for a small child. Let me show you the way that you can make the leaf flat. The best way is to put it like this, and now you've got another bed, okay? Also here on the opposing side, you have what's called a jackknife bed. The way to make this as a bed, you just lift up, this here goes back, and then you've got a bed here as well, okay? Here in the kitchen, here you have an extension for the countertop. You have under cabinet lighting. You've got the sink cover. You also have storage here up above, microwave. This is not a convection microwave, it's just a standard microwave. Got additional storage here. Also here you've got your stove. To turn the stove on, what you would do is you turn the gas on first, and then, yeah, you're gonna do your clicker here. Let me see if I can do it here. Okay, so while you have the gas turned on, turn your clicker on, and the same goes for all of the eyes. Okay. All right, and again, this is your clicker. Same is true for your oven. So what you do is you turn it to the setting that has the flame, press and hold this, and then you turn your clicker on, and it will ignite underneath. Once it ignites underneath, you turn it to your desired temperature. Okay? Once you turn it to your desired temperature, should take about 15 to 20 minutes to heat the oven. It's a small oven, but the heating element should take about 15 to 20 minutes to get to your desired temperature. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Next, we're going to go into the bathroom. Okay, so here in the bathroom, this has a radius shower. So the shower opens here like this. It's a little stuck. Okay, one of the things I do like about this shower, it can accommodate taller individuals. I know it's a step up, but it does have an area here for your head so that you are not scrubbing the top of the roof. Okay, you've got a step flush toilet here. So with the water pump on, all you have to do is step and flush the toilet. You've got storage up above here. We provide start our renters off with a few rolls of toilet paper. RV toilet paper only. Do not use standard toilet paper in this guy. Any of our units, any RV in general. You want to use rapid dissolving RV toilet paper. Most common, you can get it on Amazon, or while you're on your trip at Walmart in the automotive area. Believe it or not, yes, in the automotive area, they have an RV section that has RV toilet paper. Okay. Here you got a medicine cabinet up above, and then you've got additional storage here, and that is your bathroom here. You've got a bathroom light, and then you've got a fan up above too. So if you want to vent out any odors or moisture, you can turn the vent fan on and manually open the vent itself. Okay. Okay, so the last component of the coach is very important to most people. This is what helps you accommodate sleeping capacity of 8, is the upper bunk. Okay, so to let the upper bunk down, the seat belt has to be detached. So release the seat belt first. And the engine has to be off as well. Okay, so make sure that the engine is off, and then you're going to turn the switch here, the key here, into the on position, and then just let the bed down. There is a down button. You're just going to let the bed down. Okay. Now, this bed, I do like this about Entegra. They have bumpers here. So here, you can put these bumpers here, so if you have a small kid, you don't have to worry about them falling out of the bed at night. So you've got a bumper for the front side and another bumper for the front side and for the back side here. Okay. And to let the bed up, very simple. All you got to do is press and hold. Same thing. Once you let it up, go ahead and buckle it again. That way, in case there's an accident and you have some issue, the bed will not drop down on the driver and passenger. Okay, so let's assume that you are ready to conclude camping. You're about ready to leave. One of the first things that you want to do is you want to disconnect your hookups on the outside. Disconnect power, water, sewage, and electrical. I say electrical, but electrical and power, as well as cable. Some campsites have cable connections as well, and we can run a cable connection into this coach. But once you disconnect your hookups on the outside, you want to let your slide back in. So back here again, we're going to come in. Before you let the slide in, you're going to close all doors. Any loose objects on the floor, bring them in. And then all we want to do is hit the RET button. That means retract. So now we're retracting the slide. It is coming back in. And once that slide comes back in, you're going to be close to what we call drive mode. So we can walk from the front to the restroom. The last, okay, let me know when you're ready. All right. Okay, the last thing that you want to do before you leave the campsite is you want to let your jacks up. So again, with the coach off, with the engine off, press and hold the power button to turn on the jack system, EQ jack system. You will see that these 4 lights are showing that the jacks are down. At this point, all you have to do is hit the retract or all retract button. That is going to lift the jacks off of the ground and put them in a stow mode. You will know that it's done when the system stops beeping. Again, okay, so we heard the beep here. So the beep here let us know that the system is complete, and also the red lights, the red 4 points are now gone. So now you can turn the unit off, start the engine, and now you're ready to take off. A couple other things about this coach. Also, when you are parking the coach and when you're pulling out, always have a spotter. I know a lot of people like to think that, hey, I'm fine, I can do this without any issues. It's best practice to have a spotter. As I mentioned earlier in the video, right and left hand turn shows on the display screen, as well as reverse. Okay? Even with the cameras, I still suggest a spotter. The reason I suggest a spotter, when going into the campsites, several of the campsites, the hookup posts are small, they're short. So sometimes you might not pick that up on the cameras. It's kind of hard to see, especially at night. All right, guys, so this concludes our orientation video of the Entegra Vision 29F Bunkhouse. If you have any questions about this unit or any of our other units, feel free to call our 800 number, 866-611-6485. If you have any questions about renting, you can go to our website. Our website is rvrentals247.com. Hope you enjoyed this video. Happy camping.